As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Say hello to my little friend.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
I tell you, these guys really know how to act up. You are now tuned in to the Actin Up Podcast.
Puerto Rico, hey. What's up?
What's good with you?
Welcome everybody to another episode of Actin Up Podcast, where we keep it 100, keep it a little bit too real. You know what I mean? When keeping it real goes wrong.
All right. Sometimes you never know.
All right. And, you see some of your favorite conversations and interviews from all your favorite actors, celebrities, directors, musicians. You never know who we're going to have on the show, but hey, what's going on with you, Malik? What's good? Happy
man.
Hump Day.
Yeah, word up. It's Hump Day today.
Is it Hump Day? Yeah.
It's Wednesday. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I don't know if it's correct to tell another brother happy Hump Day. That's keeping it real goes wrong.
Keeping it real goes wrong. You're keeping it too real. Yeah.
Happy Hump Day, my brother.
And hey, you know what? Hey, you ain't got to pause on that. You only got to pause if you think it's pausable.
you only got to pause if you feel gay when you say it.
Yeah, I didn't, obviously. So, you know what I mean? I think some cats pause too much. You know what I mean? Everything. Right. You need to be like, yo, what's good? Pause. Like, how you feeling? No.
How you doing?
Like, no.
Right. Yeah. How you doing today? Pause, son. So,
how's it hanging? Oh.
Yeah, I know.
No homo. See?
No, wait a minute. When you said that, you paused because the your system over there was like, hold up, I ain't about that. You said, how's it hanging? You said, hold up.
I mean, but that's some 70s shit. What's up, my brother? How's it hanging? A little bit to the left.
Nah, I wasn't there. Yo, we got a cool show today, man.
Yeah, we got Truth Hurts in the house.
Yeah, and she calling all the way from Europe. She out there spending them euros.
Oh, she over there on that European shit. Yeah, for all y'all that don't know her, Truth Hurts is a musician. She's an actress, but she's, y'all may know her from It's So Addictive. It's so
contagious. She makes me down.
That's that produced by Dr. Dre. That joint was a banger. I remember me and my cousin, the summer that joint came out, we literally, like, every time we bounce someplace, we be just, this shit is hard. You know what I mean?
The I don't know who was doing that chorus, but it sounded like some Arab, melodic. I mean, that whole like it was that like whole Moroccan, type sound. Like, yo, Dre killed that beat, boy. Dre killed that shit. That shit's still a
live. Yo, shout out to everybody in the live. We see you.
Yeah.
President Reeves. Yeah. He said pause.
Pause early.
I think that's my peoples from Morgan State. You know what I mean? Man,
I wanted to ask you because it's all over you can't run from it. What you think about that? Like that whole 6ix9ine, like the song he put out and all the shit that's going on now, him and Snoop. What you think about that?
Man, I thought you were gonna ask me about 6ix9ine and 50 Cent. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. Like, I just don't understand. Like, hip hop, that's not hip hop to me. Like, him going to jail, snitching on his whole crew, coming out, dropping music, and still getting mad love. Like he just ain't, just put a gang of people in jail. And you know what's so crazy? See, because I'm not too familiar. Like, I'm familiar with the Snoop thing, but I'm not too familiar. So why don't you break it down for me? What's going on with that?
Well, as far as I know, on the gossip column, I think he either mentioned Snoop or Snoop mentioned him. But either way, long story short, Snoop was basically, call him a snitch, you're a rat, blah, blah, blah. And then he started trolling Snoop. I don't know which one happened first, but I know he started trolling Snoop, and he had this video where he was eating like some cereal. He's like, yo, my favorite thing to do on Fridays is to watch movies. So he's in front of a big screen watching a movie, and he's watching Suge Knight, and Suge Knight is talking about Snoop being a snitch or whatever. And, it was trolling. So it was comical, you know what I'm saying? And then Snoop made a video. It was like, I ain't have time before, but today I got time, and blah, 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 blah. And then it went on and on, back and forth, on and on and on. And it's just, it's really a bunch of trolling, but it's entertaining because everybody's talking about it. And it's just, we know that obviously nothing is really going to happen to this kid. I mean,
6ix9ine is reckless, yo. Like that's the generation that we living in where like there's no respect for your elders. You know what I mean?
None.
There's like, you just think that you invincible. But then when he does get touched up, people will be like, oh, why you touch him? Oh, you didn't have to do that. Oh, he's just a kid. You know what I mean? Some of these kids need to get punched in their mouth, you know what I mean? Because of the stuff that they say. And some of them are. Like, you see some videos of some of these rappers talking trash about how, how gangster they are or dissing other people. And next thing you know, they on the news getting dragged up and down the block. And it's like, oh, okay.
and then they get caught up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, I was watching something yesterday where 50, in a way, was kind of defending him. And he's not surprised that
what did he say?
He came out and blew up, you know what I mean? And his music's selling. And he's like, yo, if somebody, took your girl, banged your girl, threatened your family, and took your money, you'd snitch too.
I'll tell you something, though, about the snitching thing. You got cats who snitch for less. I mean, Sammy the Bull Gravano, he snitched because he heard a recording where John Gotti was bad-mouthing him. And that's what made him flip. John Gotti didn't fuck his girl, didn't try to kidnap his mama, and then beat him up. And, he snitched for less. And he he had 19 bodies on his jacket, that he... But
did he survive? Did they
Sammy
kill him?
the Bull.
Yeah.
Sammy the Bull is walking around. Sammy the Bull is eating a slice of pizza somewhere right now.
Right.
He went back. He got out, went back to jail, did about 5 years and got back out. He's out right now. Sammy the Bull. And he profited
off
he's
eating a slice of pizza, or he's on top of a slice of pizza?
I think he's eating a slice of pizza right now with pepperoni toppings.
Wow. And
having a Coke. Yeah. Somewhere on the Jersey Shore, somewhere.
Yeah, but he's in witness protection probably somewhere. Like
he's not in witness protection. That's the whole new thing too. He's not in witness protection. And then you got like what was the kingpin of Harlem? Damn it, I can't think of his name.
Forrest Whitaker?
Nah. After that timepiece, he's on Time Magazine. He was in Time Magazine. Nicky Barnes ratted because a couple of his people was knocking off his old lady when he went in. That's why he ratted.
Damn. The heart will make you get your heart broken.
But what I will say about the 6ix9ine is he got some big balls, because most people who rat really want to just go over there and just go over there and just be quiet.
Go away.
He making rat faces. He eating cheese. I mean, he's like, yo, this is what I did. I mean, it's some wild shit.
I mean, you know what? He's using it to his advantage.
Yeah.
He's using it as a gimmick, like, ha ha, nanny, nanny, poo poo.
all that shit.
Like, I'm out. You're not. You can't bang my girl from in jail now. You know what I mean? But that's not hip hop though, man. Like that's the state of music right now, but that's not hip hop. Anybody that says that's hip hop, that might be what they're doing, some millennial shit, but that's not hip hop. Those are two different things.
Right.
You know what
I think it's only right that we ask someone with that knowledge coming out of the 90s, strong with, a strong hit array of music about what's hip hop and what's not, what's going on today with this hip hop shit.
Yeah. I mean, because it really, it made me raise an eyebrow when 50 was kind of defending him, like justifying why he ratted when he built a whole career off of, pointing the finger at calling people snitches. You know what I mean?
Who are you talking about? You talking about 50?
50, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that was his shtick. Hey, you a rat. You a rat. Hey, you a rat too. You a snitch. You know what I mean? Like that word was popped up in his songs a lot. You know what I mean? If you a snitch, you get, stitches, blah, blah, whatever. But now it's like, oh yeah, I mean, what would you do? People do that.
The thing about 50 is like, when he starts to speak, opposed to what you see, he comes off like a politician because the way he execute his whole delivery, when he retorts to something is like, it's a whole nother way of thinking of it. It's a whole nother way of thinking about it. You know what I mean? It's not just cutting forward. Oh yeah, 6ix9ine is a snitch. All right, that's what it is. He giving you, okay, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's an excuse or maybe it's just the facts. One thing I will say is that the Treyway, the whole crew, they kind of fucked up, man, because they was not supposed to let this dude inside on everything that was popping. He should have been in the studio, at the show, at the hotel, home, or whatever the fuck. He shouldn't have known the real movements of the gang. You know what I mean? That's what I said. He wouldn't have had nothing to tell.
I mean, but then again, you could say that about, a Nipsey Hussle and his crew. I mean, that dude that shot Nipsey and that was also a snitch, he was a Crip. He was a Rolling 60. You know what I mean? So
I think that's a little different though, because he was from that. And that's why, you snitch, you can't be hanging around here, you bugging out. You can't be fucking with us no more.
You got to go.
Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah. It's a little bit different. Are we good in the waiting room?
Yeah. We got Truth waiting.
Okay.
We got Truth waiting. How you gonna leave Truth waiting?
You can't let her wait.
You can't let the truth wait. We always got to bring the truth out on Actin Up Podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we just want to touch upon that stuff. We'd love for you guys to chime in and you guys got any questions for Truth? You know what I mean? Hit me up in the live. We about to bring the incomparable, beautiful, amazing, talented Truth Hurts in the building. Actin Up Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Baby. Let's see where you at.
Yeah, where's she at?
Here she comes.
Oh my God.
We were tripping up with your picture that popped up first. I was like,
hold up.
It was a big face. What was it?
It was that close-up one where like you had like the white around.
Yeah, I thought you was in Dubai or something.
I thought you were out of a sheet.
No, I was in Dubai when I took the picture.
Okay, is that phone? Should we turn that sideways, Cisco?
Sure, turn it sideways. It'll look better. Turn it horizontally.
Yeah, your phone. Turn it horizontal.
Let's see. Okay. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe that's the wrong way.
Oh, maybe you don't have your.
Yeah, you could go back to it.
You don't have your screen rotation, but it looks like my battery about to die. Let me plug this in.
Plug that in. What's up, Truth? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. We hanging in there under this quarantine.
I know that's right.
You got to keep a mask. You got to keep a mask at the ready and all that. You know what I mean?
Why I feel like California is the only place still on quarantine.
Because y'all hard-headed as hell in the United States of America.
So where are you actually? Where you at?
I'm in Vienna, Austria.
Oh wow, Vienna sausages. What you doing out there?
Oh, why are you thinking about sausages as soon as I say Vienna?
That's the only thing I know that's the only thing that I know that comes from Vienna.
Right.
What comes from Vienna?
Yeah. This is true.
Hey, look, ain't nobody thinking of now we can officially pause.
I know that's right.
Yeah, he been pausing for the first 10 minutes.
No, but you're right. It is Vienna. The sausages come from here. The Vienna sausages. You're right.
So what's going on out there? What you doing out there? Are you living out there or what? You working?
Yeah, I'm living here for a while. I mean, both, but I'm living here for a while. I met my spouse here 10 years ago, and and we've been back and forth to the States, to here, and recently, I want to say last November, we came back here.
Okay, so are you learning the language? Do you speak what is that? German? They speak over there?
German? No. He speaks German. I don't speak German.
No?
It's hard to learn when you're older. It's hard to pick up a new language.
Yeah, for sure.
What, Austria, Vienna? Where's Vienna? Vienna, Austria?
Well, it's a German-speaking country. Hitler was here.
Oh.
Hitler comes from here.
Yeah,
But Vienna is in what country?
It's his own country. Austria.
And then Austria is on the border of Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like an hour flight from most cities in Germany.
Yeah, my brother lives in Germany, so they vacation in the winter. When they go on vacation in the winter, they go like skiing in Austria.
They definitely come here. Yep.
Dope.
Big on skiing. Very big on skiing. It's a beautiful country.
Now, how is the quarantine going? Is it? I mean, are bars open, clubs, or what's open?
Yeah, they just opened back up. They're starting slowly. They close at 11 p.m. now. So this is kind of a very conservative country.
Wow.
It can be strict in a lot of ways. It's a white country, mostly white country. And
white isn't white people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. White people. I mean,
Austrians are white people.
So is your spouse Austrian?
Well, my spouse is not from here naturally. He's from St. Lucia, but his mother started working at the UN here in Austria when he was 5 years old. So they left St. Lucia.
So that's the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I love St. Lucia. Yep. I've been there a couple of times. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
they're both from St. Lucia.
So he know how to cook up the plantains, the steamed callaloo, and all that good stuff.
His mom does, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That nigga don't cook for nobody.
Do you cook?
I guess I do.
Okay. Well, that's all that matters.
Very well. I cook very well. Yeah.
Nice. Where are you from, Truth?
Not true. Where you from? Yeah, where you from?
Originally, St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah, Nelly. Who else is there? Kimora Lee Simmons.
She was my best friend when I was in high school. When I was a freshman in high school, she was my best friend. She was still in the 8th grade, but she was my best friend in high school.
Wow. Interesting.
And she left.
Wow.
She actually left when I went to the 9th grade. She left and went to Paris
to be a model.
Modeling.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. She was only 14.
Damn. Yeah, that is how they do it. They start them young. Those models, they start them young.
Well, now they like 6 years old on Instagram.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
There's 5-year-olds that got more followers than me.
so hey, Truth, when you start with like the music? Like, was you singing as a little girl? Like, when did it come to you?
Yeah. I was singing as a little girl. From about 14, 15 years old, I started singing opera, actually.
Shit.
That was where it started for me. Yeah, opera and classical music, and then I started doing theater from there.
You did plays? Did you do
plays and musicals?
Specific, like, did you do like the Hello Dollies?
Yeah, the original classic white bread type musicals. I think one of them was Oklahoma. Like it was. Yeah. It was those type of musicals back then.
Now you know what? When I was in 4th grade, that's how I got hooked onto acting. Like when we were doing these like productions, right? And we did this one, And I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, yo, that's some real slavery racist shit. You know, I wish I was in the land of cotton. Old time saying, I forgot, look away. Look away. In the land of cotton.
And we were singing that shit too.
Oh, happy. Yes,
we were singing it.
That's what the slaves were saying.
Yeah. So, you know, but I mean, that definitely opened the doors for me. So with you, when did you come to LA? Oh, who was that? What happened? Oh, hey, there you go.
The phone rang and I blocked it. Sorry about that.
Okay. All good. When did you come to LA? Or did you come to LA first?
No, I went to the Bay Area first, right after I graduated high school. And then from the Bay Area, moved down to LA.
Oh. So what?
I went to San Jose State.
Oh, there we go.
That's a party school. They be partying up in San Jose. Yo, they get it in. They know how to drink. I mean, I'm talking about the girls too. I went to Lake Tahoe one time with a bunch of people from San Jose. My buddy was friends with a bunch of people from San Jose. So they met us in Lake Tahoe. And I swear, like, these girls at 9:00 in the morning was like, Cisco, you're going to do a shotgun with us? They drink everything. And I brought this big old gallon of my sangria that I perfected. And the whole weekend, that sat inside the refrigerator because nobody knew what it was. They didn't know it had alcohol. They thought it was Kool-Aid. So Sunday come around, they went through the Patron. They went through the liquor, everything, the beers, cases.
Wow.
And I pull out this sangria and just start sipping on it. They're like, what's that? I was like, that's sangria. It got liquor in it? I was like, yeah. Man, they paid to buy it off of me just so they can have it for the road trip home. Like, San Jose gets it in.
Yeah, they get it in. It's a college town too, you know? They got a lot of stuff going on, and it's industrial city too. So it's pretty tight in Santa.
What'd you say?
The water's more up towards San Fran.
San Jose.
I never been up north.
I feel like isn't that where the Lost Boys movie with the vampires took place? San Jose.
I'm not sure. It's right by what is this? This big college right there. Oh my gosh.
Berkeley?
On the tip of my tongue. No, Berkeley is up towards San Francisco.
Okay. So San Jose, isn't that? I thought that was right up.
San Jose is before San Francisco.
Oh. Okay.
So it's still like a 45-minute drive to get up to San Francisco from San Jose.
So what was that journey like? So you was in San Jose State, and of course you've always been singing. So what made you go to LA? I mean, of course, the music. How did you go? I mean,
I met a girl in college, and we became a group, and we moved down to LA together. We were called Suge and Dap.
Suge and Dap. And which one were you?
Suge and Dap. Suge. Could you guess? Suge. She was the rapper. I was the singer.
Ah, okay. Oh, okay.
So, were y'all like aspiring to be like the next Salt and Pepper or like, you know,
something like that? But I stuck to the singing though. I wasn't a rapper. You know, I only did the singing. So we kind of just, you know, put our thing together the way that it would fit. And we were working with Raphael Sadiq's cousin at the time. So our music sounded a little bit mature with a little hip hop under it.
Oh, okay.
Dope.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a really dope sound actually. We just we made it to getting a deal at Giant Records, and that's as far as we made it. Then it was done.
And then what happened on that journey?
After we got signed to Giant Records, we put out one song, did one video. Jada Pinkett did the video. She was the director.
Oh,
and,
Jada Pinkett Smith?
Yeah, she was the director of the video. Yep, I gotta pull it up for y'all. Y'all gonna I'm gonna send it to your WhatsApp. The video's on YouTube.
Whoa!
And it's real old school.
What's the name of the song?
Just Another Man. Just Another Man. Suge and Dap.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And Jada was the director. Yep.
Now was she Jada Pinkett at this time? Was she popular? Yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah, she was Jada Pinkett, but she was still getting started doing her thing. Yeah, she was still wearing overalls, real short haircut. Like like real short haircut. Like,
right.
She was directing back then?
Yeah, she directed the video. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. She was dabbling in a little everything back then. Like she was trying to find her space in LA back then.
You know, she was like, I seen some old footage of her. She was like a chihuahua way back. Did you see when she was on some TV show? I think it was Rolanda or one of those, and she was talking to Eazy-E. But she was like, "Why do you make music defaming women and blah blah? You should make music like blah 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 blah." It was like watching a female Tupac.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, "Yo, this is some incredible footage." Yeah, and Eazy-E was so nice to her. Like he was a gentleman.
That's that Baltimore.
Like she was the thug. Yeah, she was the thug, and Eazy was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I know people that went to school with her when I was in Baltimore at Morgan State. I know like the high school that she went to was right up the street, and they were like, "Yeah, we knew Jada. She was like one of those little feisty girls in the school that nobody wanted to like fuck with." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
Jada's a beast.
Yeah, and Baltimore girls in general are just you don't play around.
Of course, you don't want to do that. Truth, now, this was the early 90s, right? When you were making this transition.
That was about 94.
94. Because the cool thing is that you said you were working with Tony's cousins or somebody like this. Like all these people that you're kind of dealing with are prominent people now, kind of like the way you do it. And I think that, I missed my call and I was out the loop in the 90s, but I think the 90s was like a premium time to get on.
Baby. That's the golden era.
Golden era. There you go.
Yeah, true.
One of the best eras of music, period.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as far as with respect to the oldies of the 60s and 70s, but as far as hip hop, R&B, and then the mesh of the two, it's no reason they call it.
We'll never get that back. No. That'll never happen again.
Never.
And even like just the culture too. Like the culture, nobody had to die unless you really fucked up. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't a bunch of just fuckery going on, and like it was just a great time to be alive, and it
was easy going for real. Like it was really easy going, and you were excited about what somebody was about to put out next. Like you were waiting for a video. Like, I wonder what they gonna do to that song.
Word.
We were waiting for it. We was excited, like watching 106 in Park. You was like, they about to debut this new video.
106 was out there?
No, it was after that, but we built up to 106 in Park, where we were looking for videos.
TV Raps.
Yeah,
Yo MTV Raps. Chris Thomas, Yo MTV Raps. Remember Chris Thomas?
Yeah. In the basement with Tigger. And I mean, even they broke new artists. You know what I mean? They brought new artists in there, and Fat Five, Freddy, and all them. And I mean, that shit was dope. Sure. And music, even the thuggiest of thugs at the parties, they danced. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yo, this shit.
Yes, sir.
You know what
I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like Malik was dancing.
I'm dancing now.
If they let him into
Did you just bust out a snake for real? Did you just...
I did a little.
Damn fool. Yeah, like Malik was dancing. Yeah.
I love the whole 90s because it feels like if you are passionate and you went to the right places, you could like get a shot. You would have a shot. You know what I mean? It's different now. You have to have followers. You have to have you have to be an influencer.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? To get a movie or whatever it is. But back then it seemed like if you just hung around Quad Studios or this place or, you know what I mean? You would get,
you paid your dues.
Yeah.
Yeah. You paid your dues. You worked your way up, the right way. And then you got your shot and you kept your shot, it's totally different now. Like you got to keep putting out a single and then you're still not guaranteed to be on top.
Right.
You put out a single every week.
Right. I mean, people respected talent back then and you had to have it, but they also respected your hustle. They were like, you know what? I like you. I'm going to put you on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I could work with you. You got enough talent where I could do this. I mean, I could only imagine if we had access to the technology that there is now. I mean, forget about it. If there was a YouTube while I was in college, the crazy Puerto Rican. Oh man, about it.
Right. Back when we had the energy for that shit, right?
Right.
We was hustling hard.
Oh my God. I had a
We had the energy, but I'd be like, ooh.
Y'all go ahead with that little stuff. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna be over here. Well, it's all about having that energy because I mean, like when I first started hitting the streets, hitting the pavements in New York and trying to figure it out, I had energy. I would stay up all night and get up. Yeah. I probably stayed up a couple days, you know what I mean, trying to figure it out. I was always excited to be around, be somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For you coming to LA and doing that video, I mean, what was the next steps? Like, how did you land that, you know, that crazy ass hit? What was the next steps?
The next steps was grinding it out and becoming a songwriter from that point. And through becoming a songwriter and being a songwriter for several years, it segued into the deal with Dre because I was writing for a lot of different labels. I even wrote for Bad Boy at one point.
Wow.
And then, when you had a powerful pen, everybody heard about it. And so you just kind of went from studio to studio to studio. I even wrote back when they first started cultivating Aaliyah at Noontime. I was in the Noontime studios with Jazzy Faye and Teddy Bishop and all of them.
Wow.
So, you know, my pen was that powerful that I was moving around that way. And then it ended up becoming a situation where a song of mine leaked to Dr. Dre, and he was like, "Who is that? This song is crazy. Oh, I gotta put this on my First Lady Aftermath," which at the time was a young lady named Kim Summerson. And he wanted to demo the song with her, and then he ended up flying me out. And from there, he was like, "Okay, can you just stay on board and write some more songs? I got a few female artists." And then he tried to put me in a female group, but then that didn't work. So I just kind of stayed on board with them for a while until he came to me at one point and was like, "Yo, the songs you write always sound better when you demo them." He was like, "Why don't we try an album on you?" And at that point, I was like, you know, really kind of dry on the whole, you know, becoming an artist thing.
Really?
I was like, you know, oh yeah. I was a little dry on the music industry at that point, you know, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to school. And I was at my parents' house. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that anymore. And he talked me. He literally had to talk me into it, to doing a project.
Wow. That's crazy.
So when you were in school, I mean, were you majoring in music or were you majoring in something else?
I was majoring in something else. I was majoring in business administration and journalism. You know, I was, but I was still all over the place. You know, I was trying to, because when you're a musician or an artist, you know, that's your heart. But, you know, the other side of you or the part of you that your parents told to make sure you got something to back you up. That part is always trying to find what you need to really study for real. So that was why I ended up in those spaces at San Jose State.
Now, when he convinced you to go further with this record, or y'all completed the record, how did things change? Did they change drastically? I mean, was the phone ringing constantly? I mean, how did things change? Or did they change?
They changed once I went on tour with them. You know, it was like right when I got there, we started working on the album. We did so many songs. And that's when he decided to do the Up and Smoke tour. And he was like, "I'm gonna take you with us. And you gonna, you know, you gonna be that part of the show that's very R&B and break up the monotony of the gangster shit." I was like, okay. And so from that point, that's when things just started, like, when people started seeing me there, they were like, "Oh, who is this chick that's on Aftermath now?" You know, that's when things really started to speed up. And from there, it was nonstop.
And that was the So Addictive single that you had.
Right. That was Addictive. Yep. That was when we put out Addictive. But we actually didn't put out Addictive for real. It kind of got leaked because we didn't know what the single should be. And Jimmy Iovine and Dre were kind of going back and forth that the single should be the one that R. Kelly did. And Dre was saying it should be the one that, you know, Addictive. So Addictive accidentally got out there and it just gained the momentum really quickly and it kept moving.
That's crazy.
I'm glad.
I mean, you know what?
That's a banger.
You know what? That's kind of like that's some good luck, because from what I hear about Dr. Dre is he at least sit on records for like 40 years.
Oh, he
and he only 27.
He couldn't sit on that. He couldn't sit on that. He couldn't sit on that. He didn't have, he wanted to, because he was starting to second guess that record too. He's like, oh, I don't know. He was second guessing it. We did 100 records.
Oh my God.
We did like 4 albums.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, I was the worst work artist in the business at that time. I'm telling you, I worked my ass off. I never slept. I never saw my child. Like, I worked my ass off. And so, we did all of those songs and we couldn't figure out what we should put out there. And listening to him, shit, I was getting confused. So,
right. Is it good?
Thank God.
I don't know. Right.
Yeah. Thank God it went out on its own and it just kind of took flight. And he was forced to make a move because, as you know, Dre don't put out a lot of artists.
Right, for sure.
I think the universe probably leaked that. You know what I mean? Was Addictive one of those songs that you always had like in the back of your notepad, or was that like a new one that you came up with at the time?
I didn't write it. I wrote every other song of the 100, but I did not write Addictive.
Wow.
I was so tired at that point. My pen was dead. Do you hear me? I was like, I can't do another song. I was done. I didn't know what else to even write at that point. So by the time I got the track for Addictive, I had asked Dre to bring in some other writers, and I had suggested the writer that ended up coming in a long time before that, and he didn't want to hear that. And somebody else suggested it, and then he finally let it go. And he was like, oh, tell him to come in. Static came in there. He's the one that wrote for Leah, for who else? My God, he wrote for everybody, for Timbaland, for Missy. He's written for everybody.
Yeah, I heard his name. I heard the name.
Yes, may he rest in peace. He came in there and he wrote Addictive in 5 minutes.
Damn.
No joke. No joke.
Banger, so
yeah, no joke. He came in and he said he walked in the studio. They played the track. He walked straight in the booth after hearing the track once, and he was like, turn on the mic. He sang the melody down the first time, and then he went back right after that and put the words to the damn melody right after that, and it was done.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I was in the Addictive video.
Were you?
We shot downtown at that hotel in the basement, and it looked all Moroccan and everything. It was like...
Say it ain't so.
Oh, my God. What was the name of that hotel? It was like for some reason, I want to say the Ace, but it wasn't the Ace Hotel. It was like... it was like off of like Figueroa or something like that. And man, like I was in that video, yo. That
oh my God. Were you in the party scene?
Yeah. That's nice to do. Like that. And you know, so crazy. It was like a real party up in there, though. Like I was up in that joint, like because people were really feeling it. You know what I mean? We had the drinks and the smoke cracking. Like it was a real party up in there.
It was cracking, and then when Rakim came in, it was done. It was over. It was like at its peak at that point. Rakim came in. It was crazy.
Rakim was perfect for that. He was perfect for that song.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I don't know how all of that happened, but it was definitely a marriage. The whole thing, the way it happened, man. It was. And so
he would tour. Would he tour with y'all? Rakim, he was touring with y'all as well, right?
Yes. Did he go? I think he did. I think he did spot dates because
spot dates.
Yeah, because he had his own bus. He didn't fly anywhere. So.
Okay.
Because he refuses to fly.
Like big.
Yeah, he's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do the flying thing. So
he better get on that plane, boy.
I know, because you know he's missing so much money in Europe. He has no idea the money that's waiting for him in Europe. They love him.
It's big.
They love hip hop.
I mean, some people got over it, but like Fat Joe got over it, I think. But people like John Madden, he don't fly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, some people just don't get over it.
But I'm surprised about him.
That's surprising because I remember R. Kelly he was scared to fly, but now he don't even have to worry about a plane ticket. I don't think. I'm sorry.
He was scared of his damn karma catching him. That's what he was scared of. Yeah.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Some people will say not soon enough, but I'm gonna stay out of it.
Right.
So I mean, that is cool because I mean, I have that connection to Europe, to overseas. I mean, the three of us, of course, we have a connection. We have a friend in common. You know, Kader Ayed. We interviewed him last week, and he was telling us about all the projects he was doing. You know what I'm saying? I know that you kind of like, you got hit up for some projects with Kader, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the first, like, we got 7 minutes? Okay.
7.5.
7.5 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about the acting stuff because the first time I remember my recollection of the first time I seen you was we were on this movie set that Sticky was directing, directed. And it was Cisco, I don't know if you're familiar, but it's I think you are. It's called A Day in a Life.
Yeah, everybody was rapping.
Everybody's rapping. Yeah, it's really creative. You know, it was really, I mean, it had been done before, but not to this degree. Like everybody is rapping. It wasn't like Carmen.
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of gave you that.
Well, gangster. It was done very well.
No, the difference.
They did it. They were rapping and everything.
Yeah, I was saying like the difference was that in Carmen there were breaks. There was rapping and then there were talk. It was dialogue. And in Sticky's movie, everybody. I mean, you were the nurse. You played a nurse. And you were rapping. I
was rapping.
Bringing Fredro on the gurney, and you was rapping.
Yeah, that would be my only time ever rapping. My first and last time rapping.
And then he had me rapping.
Think about it. It's like The Heights or Hamilton.
Yeah.
They rapping. Like he could do his own Hamilton.
It could have definitely been a stage play.
True.
And I seen you in that movie, on that film. And you did your thing. And then we kind of met again on this movie called Three Blinks. Remember Three Blinks? And
yes, I do.
It didn't come out, but it was the concept was cool because we were like a duo, right? Like we had the guns. I was a hitman, and she was kind of like my girl, like was a hit woman.
That would have been actually a good movie. Yeah, it was a great storyline. Cool. Yeah.
Very great story.
What happened to it?
And then I think the producers it was like an infighting, and then it just kind of went away. But then the next time I seen you, I believe was we had stayed in touch, and I started working with Kader, and I told him about you, and he was excited that I even knew you, and he just wanted to meet you.
Man.
You know what I mean? And when the day he met you, it's been like a happy marriage with you guys. Like
it really has.
Yeah.
It really's been like family, and I always big up you for that introduction. I'm like, man, listen.
Nothing.
I know I tell everybody Malik is unlike anybody I've ever met in Hollywood because he's not a hater. He does not mind putting people together and allowing them to work, and he's comfortable in his own skin enough to not be a crab in a bucket. And just let people do their thing, and that's so rare in Hollywood amongst Black actors, and it's sad.
Right.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's real.
And I appreciate you for being that way. I totally appreciate you for being that way because that relationship has brought me all the way to today. So I'm grateful.
And same here. I am too, because one thing that I mean, when I first seen you, I was intimidated because I knew you from this big, big diva, like, you know what I'm saying? But seriously, but when I actually talked to you, I got to kick it. You so humble, so grounded. I don't know whether this because of this journey, this experience, when you go through this journey of highs and lows and yes and no's and all this stuff, and then when you meet like-minded people, you share these energies and you share like this commonalities. Like, look, boom, you can do it too. And like a person like you have such a strong voice, great look. I think that you should be in a ton of films. I think you should be on a ton of TV shows because you have a presence. Kader even says, he knows you have a strong presence, and I think that's a person like yourself, we have to connect. We have to help each other. I got to call Cisco when I feel like, this is something right over here. This is right. I have to call you because it's power in these numbers. You know what I mean?
It is.
And
it definitely is.
Yeah. We actually a bunch of spies. That's what we are, because, like seriously, because like a person like Adair, he could get in certain rooms that we may not be privy to.
Yeah.
And then he'll just like, he'll open the door and say, "Come on, guys."
Yeah.
And then we come up in the door and we do our thing.
Do the back door thing.
right.
Back door.
Did he tell you our funny story about what happened in Geneva?
No, what happened?
Well, when I was out there shooting, or actually no, I was in the studio doing the song that he wants to shoot the video to for the movie, and Exhibit was in town doing a show.
Okay.
Did he tell you about that? I said, "Oh my God!" Listen, I was just stone faced the whole time because I'm like this. I let people be who they are, no matter what. We all adults, and everybody got to do their thing the way they do it, And he was just proud, and and there's a genuine article. He don't think about the stuff, and that's what I love about Europe. He don't think about the stuff that some of us African Americans think about, especially when we're being small-minded about things. And Exhibit and he were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, I got the opportunity to do this movie for Suge Knight," and you should have seen Exhibit's face.
I can imagine.
Exhibit's face. Yo, he turned into Dr. Dre that quick, and I was just like, I just put my head down because I know how Dre felt. I know how Dre felt about Suge. So, and I was there during all of the mayhem when Suge would show up to the studio and security had to kick him out or move him, and that he was being a bully that entire time I did my album. So I know what Dre went through. So, Exhibit, he has this, I don't know how to say for Dre. He really looks up to him. So he
a loyalty.
definitely.
A loyalty.
Yeah, it's a loyalty and it's a big respect. So
now,
he automatically took that battle on himself. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. And Kader just like, I felt so bad. I didn't say nothing. I just sat there and let them discuss like men.
Now, and to his credit, Kader, being a foreigner, he can get away with that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier. So, but listen, do you have time to stay with us? We got to do a short commercial break.
Go
and
ahead.
Come right back.
Yeah,
okay?
I do.
We're going to do a short commercial break. We'll be back with the Actin Up Podcast, everybody. Stay tuned. We got Truth Hurts in the building. All right?
What it is, playboys and lady bosses, this your main man, Slink Johnson, and we smoking yours on the Actin Up Podcast on Spotify, Apple, iTunes. Just get that shit, because we acting up.
What's up? You know the vibes. Wavy Jones, the Tropical Pop, and you tuning in with Actin Up Podcast.
What's going down, y'all? It's your girl, Portia Coleman, and I am here at the Actin Up Podcast with my boys, Malik Barnhart and Cisco Reyes. Tune in.
Yo, we're back at the Actin Up Podcast, baby. We got the amazing, talented Truth Hurts in the building with my man, Malik B. You know what I mean?
You left out gorgeous.
Oh thank you.
Sometimes I'll say you look amazing. So I think amazing and gorgeous is the same thing. But
Okay.
it embodies,
I'll take all that love. Thank you.
It embodies everything. Yes. Yo,
thank you.
I just have to say I seen the most hilarious thing just now when I hopped off my live ended and it was one of those videos and it was like this chick kissing this dude up like in this room, and this other dude came in and just started running towards me and was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Bow! and
really?
Punches dude in the back of the head. He goes down and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck, B?" He was like, he's talking to his chick. He's like, "What the fuck?" And she picks dude up. And it's a doll. He's like, "Yo," he's like, why is he wearing my clothes?
I saw that.
Picks him up, and it's a blow-up doll, and she dresses in his clothes. He even has like the dick sticking out. He's like, "Oh shit, where's the camera?" But dude came in like a monster.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Instagram. I'm like, boy, they out here playing too many games. And they don't
that
even
ain't
understand. They catch the wrong one. Somebody gonna catch a case for real.
Word, people are bored and they are playing pranks on each other. That shit is hilarious. They've been doing that to their parents, but that's definitely been going wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta definitely been going wrong. Prank on a person of a certain age.
I don't like pranks. Not when they're on me. I don't
like you.
Right.
Like I said, somebody of a certain age.
Yeah, I don't like them either. I agree. I agree.
Truth. What was that? You. I seen on your Instagram. I don't know the name of the movie, but you worked with Antonio Banderas, right?
Yeah, it was called Security.
Yeah. And where'd y'all shoot that? Where'd y'all shoot that film?
Bulgaria.
God damn, that's what I'm talking about.
That's
Bulgaria.
Wow. Yeah. And how did that happen? How did that come about?
That came about while I was overseas. Actually, I had gone back when I got the audition for it, but it happened when I was in Bulgaria. I had been doing shows or whatever, and the guy who usually books me there, he had told them about me and told them that I was doing some acting, and they were like, "Oh, we need an American Black female for this upcoming film. If she wants to audition, she can." They will audition a few other people. And so he called me to audition for it, and I did. So I did a self-tape and sent it, and they were like, "Wow, yeah, we want to invite you to play the role."
Right, that's dope. You know, that's the amazing. Those are the amazing stories that happen overseas. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was walking down the street, and somebody said, "Hey, Malik," and they walked up to me. He's like, "Yo, this is my friend from Italy. He's a director. He's doing a movie." He's like, "Yo, you'd be perfect for my movie." I love those stories. I mean,
exactly, because it's less politics.
Are that way, though.
Less politics.
It's less politics.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to fuck with you because they see that you got talent. They see that you got a little swag about you, and they just want to mess with you because of that. And that's what I love.
I think they also they hold on to just your being, like who you are, because you know what I mean, like they will like who you are, you know what I mean, and like you said, your swag and everything, and just be like, that's the guy I want in my movie, and they may not even seen none of your work. They haven't seen none of your credits. They're not sitting there in front of you, IMDb'ing you. You know what I mean? Right. They're just like, "Oh, you're an actor. I believe you. I can see that you have such a look to you."
Yes.
That's what this dude at the Carlton Hotel in Cannes was like, "Yes, you should be in my movie." And I'm like, "You haven't even seen none of my work." He's like, "I don't care. You play this guy."
Yes,
you know what I mean? Next thing you know, he was sending me the script.
Yeah, they about that real life. You see how Kader is when he directs. He like, yeah, just take over, do your thing. I'm gonna give you some direction, tell you how I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
They love that real life, for real. They
want Kader was the same way. He didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
He just thought, he didn't even see he didn't even know I really acted when he offered me the role in 513. The next day when I brought him my headshot, he was like, "Oh, you really do this?" I was like, "Yeah, you're a real actor." He's like, "I like that about you. You did not try to sell yourself." I was like,
you lucky you didn't see me 5 minutes ago. Right. And Cisco thought Kader and Nico, he thought they were drug dealers.
No, stop playing.
Hey,
I'm done.
A Motel 777 up in there washing your drawers in the sink. Like, they were. I was like, they're either hitmen or they're drug dealers. They're either.
Stop it! You've been in too many movies, I see.
And Malik ain't tell me nothing. The first time he brought me over here, he's like, "Yeah, just sit in the car real quick." I'm like, "What's this?"
No,
I was like, "I didn't know Malik went back to hustling." I was like, "He didn't learn his lesson the first time."
And little did you know, it landed you a role.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the beauty of it. I mean, you know, I think it's one of those things where you have to work off your instinct. When you find somebody who's speaking the right words and they're passionate, you have to take some type of leap of faith on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I did with Kader. I think that's what we all did. And it brought us here down to present day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Talking to you, you said that Kader. Well, you just said that Kader wanted to do a video for the movie. You know what I mean? I guess one of your songs. I mean, it's just nonstop. You know how it just keeps connecting and keeps connecting. I tell you, before the quarantine, I was scheduled to go to Dubai with Kader and work on a film. Yeah. Nice. I was excited. I was trying to keep quiet and be all excited, but of course, you know, it's postponed. You know what I mean? But just the idea of moving around, and
that's dope.
I think that's where you really get a chance to explore acting, when you get to do things in a different country with foreigners.
Absolutely.
And it's not that same energy. There's nobody like they don't have time to hate on you because they want a good project.
It's a different process.
It's funny you say that, because I had posted something. I don't know if it was from 211 or Security or Day of the Dead in my stories, and Lisa Ray hit me. Was like, "Oh, girl, I didn't know you was acting." I was like, yeah. And it's funny because people think, you know, because you sang first that you don't have the right to act.
Right.
A lot of actresses get a little bit offended by that, because they'll be like, okay, well, I can't just go sing. Well, that's your fault. You know,
right.
You can't sing.
Right, because Bing Crosby, he would dance, sing, and act.
Okay, come on, they was dancing,
it was more like God's
singing.
fault.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like,
you had to
they
be
was
a triple
doing
threat.
it all back in the day. Oh yeah, back in the day, you better had did it all. Did it all.
And I would say something like, even like for rappers who, you know, for rappers, I think that rappers should be writers, if not actors, on TV shows, because their whole story is about life.
Yeah.
It's about real life, things that go on. They could be the most creative writers. When I see blacks on, Cisco, you introduced me to this dude. He's an actor now, but he started out in reality TV. He was on like I think it's for the Love of New York or something like that. Big dude, mostly stoic face, bald head. You introduced me to him a few weeks ago. I forget his name, but he's on a show right now. What's the show? Get Shorty. He's on the show Get Shorty, and the first season he was like himself. He was like this stoic character. He was his bodyguard. But it's been 3 seasons now, going on to the 4th season, and now it's constantly like evolving. His story is evolving now. You know what I mean? He had sex. You know what I mean? Because usually they don't have the black dude. Black dude never gets laid, and you know he wants. And on the show he wants to be a stunt man.
Help me.
He's like really evolving, and he's pretty funny, and he's doing his thing. And I was just proud just watching that, because you don't get these opportunities. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We said something earlier, Malik. You said something earlier about, like, you know, you going by your instinct, and, you know, working with the, you know, different being presented with these different opportunities, especially by like these foreign directors, and you know, you go off of instinct and it ends up being something great, or even them going off of instinct and you know, giving you an opportunity that you probably wouldn't have got in Hollywood, and having to deal with, you know, the numerous auditions or just star meter. And how I want to segue that is, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, a lot of female actors don't get to, you know, go off their instinct, because there are a lot of snakes in the business.
Oh, so definitely.
With you coming from the music, deep in from R&B, hip hop, everything, you know, there's a lot of snakes in those grass or lawns over there. But then also transitioning in your into film. What was that like for you? Did you have those problems, or were you somebody that they knew not to mess with like that?
Well, because those transactions took place over here, they totally did not treat me like that. They totally did not treat me like that. And thank God Dre never did. He never held nothing over my head and was like, oh, you got to come to my bedroom if you want to hit single, you know, like how a lot of the horror stories that I hear from, you know, women with the Me Too movement, that really didn't happen to me that way. Now, of course, I ran into some snakes, but I decided I didn't want to deal with those snakes, and I kept it moving, you know. I don't think I've ever been cornered where it was, you know, I had to choose, you know, to opt out of my career if I didn't want to do that. I haven't had, you know, that experience, especially
well,
not in
you look like the
film.
type to say, "Get the fuck out my face." I mean, you look like
and
that.
I have,
Right.
and I have. I'm really not a weak woman. I'm very strong and strong-minded and strong-willed, and that's probably why, you know, my career in the music industry kind of just slid back, and I had to revamp and do things a different way, because there are certain things I'm not willing to do to stay current, to stay, you know, on top of the charts, to be accessible, and to be number one. There's certain things I'm not willing to do. So, and this whole film, it's funny you said that, because after that first audition for the one movie, then they just kind of kept snowballing over in Bulgaria, because they remembered I did a good job the first time. So I ended up doing the movie with what's this young man's name? Michael Rainey Jr.
What? Cisco, we gotta move to Bulgaria. Cisco.
I didn't know they getting down in Bulgaria like that. Tax credits.
Well,
out
you know,
there.
they have a studio. Well, they have a studio that's like Universal, but it's like much cheaper for them to film there. So what they do is they grab really big American true school, like Nicolas Cage, like Antonio Banderas, and they get them to go ahead and lead the film, where, you know, they may not be as big in Hollywood anymore, but they're still big. They're iconic. Sure. You know? Yeah. And they bring them over there, and it's cheaper to film, so they give them most of the money, and they get the film done. And that's how they got Security done. That's how they got 211 done. And they were both brilliant films. They just filmed them in another country.
Right.
That is so dope. Right. That is so dope. I mean,
I love Antonio. Antonio's a dope ass actor.
Oh man, he's crazy. So is Nicolas Cage. Both of them. I was just like, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And Nicolas Cage he's royalty. You know what I mean? Coppola.
He definitely is.
Have you guys seen that movie with Nick Cage? Is it Driven or Drive Me to Hell or something like that? Some crazy shit where he dies, comes back for revenge, and it's so over the top. Like he's having sex with this waitress that he met at a bar, and they come to kill him. He doesn't stop having sex, and he's rolling around shooting. He got her right here, and he's like, pow, pow,
yes,
and she's still like, oh my god! Like,
they call that. They call that the hero shot. Remember when Richard Gere did the same thing in what's the movie with Andy Garcia? Internal Affairs. Remember he was having sex with the officer's wife, and then the guy comes in and he's still having sex, and he points the gun at him. He's like, "Look at her, she ain't shit." Look at her. Right?
This one was a little bit more over the top.
I was like, that's so cool. I was like, I should try that.
Absolutely, but why? But the black guys never get those roles.
Never. I get so mad about that. I me and Cisco, we talk about that all the time. He's talking about like what Puerto Ricans, the unfortunate situations that happen. They hire white-looking Puerto Ricans or Spanish people or Latin or whatever you want to say, and then with black folks, you either the parole officer, henchman, and you don't like girls. You don't like nothing. You just kind of stale. And that's what I like. Even on the show Ozark, I think it's a great show. It looks like a roller coaster ride. It's fun, but you had the black parole officer. He comes to give a piss test, a urine test to a ex-con, and the guy pisses on his shoes. I'm like, okay, where do they do that at? Because
Ozark,
you will never pee.
What episode was that?
I don't know which episode.
Is that in the most recent? Is that in the most recent season?
That'd have been season 1. I don't remember that.
It was when the young girl, the young little hillbilly girl, the blonde girl, it's when her father gets out of prison.
Oh, that's the first season.
Yeah. That's the second season.
Second season.
Yeah, and I was so mad about that. The only person, the woman, the black actress, they gave her some love. She had some nice substance in the show, but I think that either they're not doing their homework or they just don't understand black culture when it comes to the black men, or they haven't been to clubs in Hollywood.
But you know what? In that regards, it's not that you have to understand Black culture just to make me a person. You don't have to know about hip hop or Black people, cornbread and fried chicken. You don't have to know shit about arroz con pollo just to make me a human being in your show. I can just be a regular person. I could be the lawyer, your lawyer. I could be whatever that is. We're actors. You don't have to understand my culture to make me a human being. You just have to understand people.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm just that person.
That's very true.
But this color. It does not matter what we what we are. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're American.
I shouldn't have to fit the role.
Because we're all American.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's more conspiratorial. Like they want to control a narrative. Because if I make this Black man sexy, if I make him sought after, then that guy in the house that looks like that guy on television is sexy too. You know what I mean? So I think it's about controlling a narrative. Right. You know what I mean? And that's why you see like even Black women on television, they really have a strong presence, or like kind of maybe not so sexy, but more just like, I'm not gonna say masculine, but just not like kind of like somebody like you would say, oh yeah, that's auntie right there. You know what I mean? It's not a whole lot of Kerry Washingtons running around. And then the Sanaa Lathan, they disappeared. Those Sanaa Lathans, they disappeared.
Yeah.
So I think it's about control.
Or Halle. That's why Halle was getting most of those type of parts. Yeah.
Right. And see, Halle had a pretty face and like was like she had a nice top side. It's not like Halle was known for her booty. So when a Black woman has too much ass on TV, they either try to make her a particular thing, you know what I mean, character. Yeah. But you don't like Kerry Washington. Is that your leg, Drew? Mad ass, you know what I mean?
Is that your leg?
Mm-hmm.
Malik trying.
Yes, it's my leg.
He tried.
Damn fool.
He does that at home on the TV all the time. He be under the TV like, damn.
You're a fool. You are a damn fool.
I put mirrors on on my shoes for the TV. This shit don't work. But
he used to wear the patent leather Jordans and shine them up real good.
But
right. It's a mirror. I get it.
No, but it's true. I mean, I think that, and that's, I think, because what happens is when we get treated like that, we look at everybody as like their suspect, every white person, every white director, producer. But that's the beauty of overseas. You don't have those constrictions so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
There is some type of separation here and there, but when it comes to the art, they respect you as an artist. I mean, you got DJs, actors, entertainers, or whatever. You know what I mean? And they love going overseas because I mean, in the 50s or the 60s, you had Marvin Gaye and people like that wanting to just like defect and live in Europe because
Josephine Baker. Josephine
Baker, Tina Turner
lives in Switzerland.
They all live over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And I mean, I don't, I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but I do want to give them their credit and say, like, you know what, they opened my eyes to a whole new world. They opened my focus.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. I really do.
I mean, look at Gary.
Me too.
Look at Gary Dordan that was in 513 with us. You know what I mean? When I was on my way over to Cannes, I was going over there a day early and nobody was over there. And Freeman, you know what I mean? Shout out to Freeman White. He was like, well, Gary's over there. You should hit him up. And I didn't have his info, but nowadays you can get a hold of anybody through social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just I did a quick Google and all the slanderous stories and gossip and just bad things were over here. And I'm like, damn, do I really want to hit this dude up? Like I didn't know.
Really,
like,
that's crazy.
That's the way. Like everything that popped up, it was just crazy. And when I got over there he goes on the billboard outside the Carlton Hotel because he was like the spokesperson for some jewelry line, diamonds and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
His face was on the room key of the Carlton Hotel. So everybody's room key had Gary on it. And it was like, and then that was where the money shot was, next to Gary.
Absolutely.
Gary. And Gary.
Yeah,
all the females. Gary. They love him over there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In the US, they just so whack, yo. They so judgmental. They want to.
They say sometimes a prophet is never heard in his own land. Never respected in his own land.
Wow. Or either you never respect until you die. You're nobody till somebody kills you, right? Yeah. We don't want that. You know.
No, we don't want that part.
I remember Gary, right? I was so frustrated one time. I went to Gary because we had never really had real conversations. And I was like, man, I'm out here, man. I ain't got no money. Man, this and this and that. Man, I'm going to tell you, when I see what's name, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And he was just looking at me like this. And he said, no, you're not. This is what you're going to do. Boom, 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 boom. And, you know, he did that whole shit. I was like, Gary, old fly ass nigga. And then, like, a couple of hours later, we was out in the lobby. And he said, yeah, he gave me dap. He was reached up to give me dap. And then, boom, I felt something in my hand. And he gave me €300. I was like, this is a nice man.
Right. To be American in another country and don't even have their money.
Yo, Gary is the shit. Gary is the shit. He don't play off his stereotype, you know, being a sexy man, handsome man. I guess he play off it when he needs to, but I mean, he don't carry himself that way. He's a genuine dude. You know,
he's a true Renaissance man. I mean, he playing the guitar.
You know, because he knows about both worlds. That's what it's about. He knows about the States. He knows about Europe, and that's what makes you well versed as a human being when you've been outside the box. People don't realize that. It's not about praising one place or the other because every place has their downfalls. The place I'm in right now has its downfalls. It has things about it I can't stand, the same way as when I'm in the States.
Right.
But the bottom line is when you have the ability to move around and see everything and make choices based on that, that's when you really arrived. And that's why, you know, he is who he is and he can speak to you the way and with the reverence and respect that he can speak to you because he's been in different countries. He's handled them euros. He's handled them dollars. He probably handled some different money. You know, it's different when you've just opened yourself up to the world and you think that way.
Right.
And that's your mindset.
And you know what's crazy is the fact that you know, like he's really well known for is a CSI, and Europe had, you know, they get everything so late. So you know, they're in the middle of his greatness on CSI.
Right.
Meanwhile, that's old news over here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
that
it's
show
right
doesn't
on
even
time over
exist
here.
no more. But over there, they're like, that's Gary Dourdan from CSI. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And that's probably what makes him jump on a flight and going over there so he can feel that love and remember who he is, because the States will have you feeling like you on some bullshit.
Right.
Like you ain't even worth it no more.
Not true. Where would you want to, like, if you had to pick your primary home, where would that be? Like, what country would you say, okay, you know what, I can live here and just keep moving around? Would it be somewhere in America, or where would it be?
I mean, home is home. Home is where your family is.
St. Louis?
No. I would never go back to St. Louis. Don't even bring that shit up. My dad tried to say that last week. I said, Dad, don't bring that up again. It's not going to happen. I want you to stop. I'm not coming back to St. Louis. I'm not going back to St. Louis. But when I say where your people's and your family, I mean the U.S. The U.S. is, you know, that's where all my folks are. You know, I have children.
Right.
And my oldest still lives in the U.S. She's studying to be a doctor. So
that's what's up.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's going hard. So she's in the U.S. She loves it over here. Like she had booked a trip to go to Istanbul and then to here at the end of June, and they just jacked up all her little sexy plans. And she spent her little check on it and everything.
Right, she ready to go.
Yeah, she spent her check.
Quarantine.
Like, what the hell is this shit?
Oh man.
Speaking of which, you said something about 5 minutes ago. There's some stuff over there that you really, really can't stand. You know, you're on Acting Up. What are some of those things?
Me and my husband just experienced that today. Like, he was working at this spot, one of the first spots to open back up because it's an outside bar. It's like a tiki bar, and all of the people were starting to come to it. And he's one of the main DJs out here, but they don't want to let him live. So as a black man out here, he can only go so far. He makes good money, but he can't be on top out here. Whereas if you get that in the States, that's yours. You know what I'm saying? Out here, it's so close knit where they see you. Like one time, this guy tried to sue him because they had a party way back when, and the dude felt that my husband didn't promote the party, so he wanted to sue him for $8,000. He said he lost $8,000 because nobody came to the party because my husband had a gig over in Qatar, and so he didn't promote the party, right? So he ended up putting out some lawsuit, or however they call it here. It's not the same as a lawsuit. But when we came out here for 2 weeks, I'm telling you, we was here for 2 weeks. He DJ'd at this one spot, and it was one of the prime Austrian clubs out here. The peoples showed up at the club. The peoples, not the man who was suing him, the authority.
Wow. To
they
snatch him up
to collect. To tell him you have a debt that's so you're being sued, and it wasn't like they went to court and the dude won. It was just like, you being sued, so you got to pay this.
I'm about to sue everybody.
Yeah, man, and it was nuts. And so things like that really, really, because like I said, it's a white country. You know, things like that, and then this bar that he was DJing at burned down last night. Nobody knows how it burnt down, but it burnt down last night. And he was the last DJ there. He left, came home. So this morning it was on the news, and his mom's boyfriend, who is white Austrian, first thing she did was call and says, he's like, what is Helen going to do now? Oh, because he's jealous of him. He's jealous of a black man. So he's like, you know, oh, look at this. Now he doesn't have a job again. So it's like this mentality here that is really, really awful, because, you know, it's almost kind of like the crab in the bucket, but it's with white folk. So
needless to say, we black all over the world. Even though we said all that fly shit about overseas,
thank you.
We still
we
black
all over the world.
Look what happened to who's homie ASAP Rocky, when homeboy was clearly harassing him. Yeah. He was clearly harassing him, following him, bothering him, and
that was ASAP Rocky, not his home. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And they locked him up.
That was a setup.
Yeah,
that was a setup. Sure. They wanted him for that. They wanted him for that. Now in Germany, it's a little different. Like my boy, who I call my brother, he's like the black German over there. This dude, he actually used to live with Jamie Foxx. He used to live with me. He lived in LA a little bit, and then he came back to Germany. We call him Big Pat, and he's working for Sony now. Let me tell you, my brother's the biggest hustler I know. And he tells my husband, he'd be like, yo, he's one to introduce me to my husband. He'd be like, yo, you can't beat a man in Austria. He said, in Germany, it's enough black men out here. We can be large and in charge out here. You know, we got bases, we got army bases in Germany where
my brother lives in Germany.
It's more
20 years.
I mean, in Austria, even the horses are white. You get the horse, they only have white horses.
Right. It's just Austria. But Germany is different. It's definitely different.
Wow. I don't know, but in Germany,
you
man,
can live over there.
My brother sends me videos from Germany, and he's like, when are you going to come over? When are you going to come over? And like, it's videos of them like just drinking beer and like these weird festivals, and the food just looks like,
the food is terrible.
I'm like,
I can't do it. The food is flavorless. I can't.
When am I coming over? As soon as I stop in Puerto Rico, Then I'll go over there. Oh, I didn't make it.
That part.
He's been over there 20 years and I still haven't made it.
What part is he in?
I can never pronounce it. It's called Actin but it's like it's close to Austria because I know he drives to Austria, and he said it's not that far, and
okay.
And then he goes to Croatia for a vacation every summer.
Croatia's nice.
But it's not Frankfurt. It's not Munich. It's not any of where all the other army bases are. But he has lived in all those other places. But yeah, he loves it over there.
Gotcha.
He's got a beautiful house. And,
it's
man,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Germany is great. Germany is where I get all my love. I get more than enough love in Germany when I go over there to perform. So
I guess it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act of taking the good with the bad, and of course the ugly, and just kind of navigating your way through that. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. Because I think that we have to have the struggle. I think we have to have the struggle. I think that the struggle keeps us going, keeps us strong,
it does.
Keeps us alive. Yeah, for sure.
It does. And it keeps me aware of my surroundings and what I want out of life. So I can definitely say my journey, through Europe, back home and everywhere. It doesn't give me the opinion about, any place in particular over another. It just gives me an awareness about what I want out of life. And it keeps me open-minded and ready for anything. Whereas, the average American, it's not like that at all.
Right. No, that's real. Any regrets on anything as far as the career?
My only regret, and I say this in every interview I've ever had, and every conversation I've ever had, my only regret is back when I put out my first single and I was on Aftermath, was not having the proper team around me. Because I feel like as an artist, if you have that type of momentum coming out the box with a single and you don't have the right team around you to help you excel to the next level, not gonna happen.
And when you say team, do you mean like PR, lawyers?
Everything. Everything. Team.
Top to bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Team.
That
management.
We call it that machine.
Business management. Yeah, because I owned a home in LA and I made a killing off that home. And from that home, I should have been walking into another home when they gave me the money for that one. You have to have business managers, people to help structure your entire career. Because, my situation was just with Dre and Curtis, the lady that ran his company. And, because my situation started the way it did with Dre saying, okay, let's just try a project on you. And if it works, it works. You don't have, nobody has to hear it if it's not something we want to put out. Because it began that way, it wasn't structured and put together the way it should have been.
Mm.
And he was kind of feeling like this was his baby. And letting just any manager in, I'm not going to do that because I don't want them to jack up what I'm trying to do with this project or for them to feel like they have too much say so. So I didn't have a team. I didn't have my own management. I just had them. Mm-hmm. And of course, they have his best interests at heart at all times.
Right.
Not mine. So yeah, if I had to do it all over again, that is my one regret. I would definitely have a proper team around me and, yeah.
Well, we're running out of time, Truth. But we definitely want to hear, what do you have coming up, real quick? What can people look out for?
Well, we just put out a little world single called "Fight for Love." For the sake of the pandemic and the healthcare workers and all of that, and it's on all digital platforms as of May 5th. Oh. And I'm going to shoot a video for that in Istanbul. And then I'll be shooting a video for this film with Kader, This Day Like a Week, for the song that we did for that. And
nice.
Supposedly doing another film soon. So yeah, just
nice.
Just trying to keep it going.
And where can people find you?
Yeah.
Truth Hurts World on IG, Truth Hurts World on Twitter, and Truth Hurts page on Facebook. That's where
y'all heard that. We got Truth Hurst in the building. Came through on a last minute call. Like, yo, Truth.
Because you're my homie. You're my family, of course.
Good looking out. Good looking out for that. Word up. All the way from what is it? Where were we at?
Austria. Vienna,
Austria.
All the way from Vienna. Austria. I know people in Vienna.
It is 1:46 in the morning.
Oh shit!
I've been hanging out with y'all for almost 2 hours.
Oh man, yo, thank you so much, yo. Acting Up is international. We had Kader. He was in Geneva. We got you in Vienna.
The mic cut off on Kader because he was like, "Yo, so how'd you meet Malik?" So I met Malik by this way and that way, and then it was like this, and then like that. Yo, we run out of time, brother. One second.
Yes.
Yo, this has been another episode of Actin Up Podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in all the time. Make sure that you guys go to YouTube. You guys can watch these episodes. We got the Zoom cracking right now, but
it's about to happen to Cisco.
Right. We can listen to us on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, all your favorite podcast stations, but you can watch them on YouTube. Make sure that you smash that subscribe button and that like button and share us all over the place. You know what I mean? I'm Cisco Reyes.
Yeah.
You can catch me at CISCO and my boy Malik Barnhart at
yes, sir, at M-Bizzle, you know, for sure. Nah, it ain't all that, but just find me, Malik Barnhart, you know what I mean? All platforms.
Yeah.
Congratulations, y'all.
Podcast.
Love, Truth. Yes, thank you so much. Thanks again.
Hey.
And send me that video. All right.
Yeah, send the video.
I'll send it to you. Yes, I promise. I'll send it to you. Okay. Thank y'all.
Love.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace.